Aha, apparently we have an excellent connection. I hope you can hear and see me. Yay. Wow. I'm kind of always bewildered and amazed when the Zoom works. Let's see if you can all hear me. Hello, PigeonSmythe. It's PigeonSmythe. The wind breeze definitely helped in the London area. I'm still in deepest, darkest Dorset. Um, had a lovely day today. Um, yeah, played with some dogs. Uh, my godson George has got me back into Pokemon Go. That's fantastic. Great to hear that, Gary. Unusually hot, so hot. Gary is putting a zenithal on a couple of ghost keels at the moment, but glad to be here. We're glad to have you, Gary. Hello, Dom. Um, I did do a very small live stream last night to get through the trauma of reading The Reflection Cracked in the Primarchs, which is the latest Horus Heresy book. I've just realised this is a horrible, it's really showing off my lower chin. I wonder if I can disguise my aging, my jowls. Dom elf kicker. We always love an elf kicker in the chat. So it's lovely to have Tony and two Garys. Alex, hello. I've just been sorting out a new I've just been editing my new oh, no, no fear. I don't know if you could hear that. I've been editing my new Dan Abnett video and I've been trying to sort out the credits. I wonder if I can share that with you so you can all see. Let's see if Zoom lets me. Will it let me? Come on, Mr. Zoom, share. Discord. I don't, no, I don't think it's going to let me share my movie thing. Oh, here it is. So let's see if this works. Can you all see my movie? How am I going to check this? Oh, I didn't think this through. I have to look up on my Zoom to see what y'all are saying now. YouTube. This is the magic behind the videos. No, not Deliverance Lost. I need to look at my own live stream on my phone. All the high-tech stuff going on here, people. Uh, can I see what I'm doing? Nope. Oh gosh, how am I going to do this? You live videos. What a palaver. So I'm now going to go into YouTube. This must all be very frustrating for you. But what I'm worrying about is if I switch back, it'll crash because we've been having a few problems. Here we go. Okay, so hello, Twain and Lynn too. Okay, hi, Dave Wharton. Hello, Kent. Hi again, says Kent. Is there any schedule for lives? Just saw it was on. We try and do 8 o'clock every Sunday night, Kent. Welcome, welcome. But last night I was having a bit of a nervous breakdown. So I thought put it on the rest of the world. So I'll see if this will work. So this is my new Patreon and YouTube members reel. Is that working? Or has the screen just gone black for you? Okay, so what you should be seeing is my new patrons reel, which I'm still trying to figure out how to put a picture behind it. So we've got Gary, who's in the chat present. We've got Matt, who I haven't seen for a while. Nige, Book Club Buddies. Alex Sinclair, who's in the chat. You have to tell me if you're happy with these titles. So Alex is our book club terraformer because in real life, Alex is a landscaper. Nige is a book club bard because Nige writes songs in real life. James Lana is our one and only historitor Jamaldus. Well Inspector, those of you who follow us on Sunday evenings, quite often they do a science report for us. And then these names on the crawl coming up: John Prue, Jim 72, Paul Smith, Benjamin Steglowski, Jacobs, David Gibb, Syed Hamza Zaidi, Nat West Franks, Curtis Donaldson, Thomas Smith, Gamma Woo, Paul Estob, Anthony Flynn, Eric Gustafson, Robin Holdway, Tim Wanger, Court of the Yellow King, Katie Garrett, Andy Ewan Smith, Ed Scott, Greg Hitchcock, Tim, Steve R, Mr. Bats, and Adam Bustin, Arbeiterian, and Michaela Irish are all on there as well. So the biggest, the names that are the, can I speak, please? Mira, can you speak? The names that are the largest are the ones who pay £15 a month. I felt that was only fair. And then others are uh then the book club buddies, everyone who's got like a little title, they are all they doing the £10 book club thing, and everybody else is the £3 Patreon. So just trying to do some stuff to look a little bit more professional. Um, what's going on in the chat? Hi, Dave Wharton, welcome to the chat. Neil's asking how's everyone's weekend. Hello to Owen and Lynn too. Dave has packed up a kitchen before it gets refitted on Tuesday. Dave, that is great content. You should make content. Hello, Aleph. Hello, Raging. Hello, Happy Haribo. Tony says, managed to get away to a friend's Friday and Saturday to do some gaming. Tony, you're living your best life. Raging Horn gives me a compliment. I actually am trying to avoid the sun at the moment. Gary said your book description yesterday warped my fragile little mind. Tony in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, well, there are 26 of us here this evening. The reason we're doing this in a Zoom is because we're not playing a fighting fantasy book at the minute. We're just having a wee break from that. So I have said if anyone wants to chat, come on the channel, they can drop me an email. So I'm going to check my emails and just have a look, see if anybody's decided to do that this evening. Um, mm, so, oh, there are 4 unreads. Tony says, hi, Mira, I have space elves out to show if others don't want to chat on Zoom if you do that. Hello, Gary. You missed your new Patreon role, but have a look. Um, Gary's multitasking, as librarians often have to do. Oh my God, Dom's got a hornet in the room. That's so stressful. Tony, do you fancy coming on? I will send you a little invite to come and chat in the Zoom with me. Bear with, bear with. For those of you who don't know, I met Tony in real life at Games Expo, and he gave me a Lego unicorn, which I still haven't built, but we are going to make some content out of that, I'm sure. It was quite a nice chat last week. Oh, good. I'm glad you saw it, Gary. And I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but if you would like to pop on the Zoom and have a wee chat, there is a email address via which you can contact me. And the reason we do it this way is because there's some strange people on the internet and we don't want to have them on the channel. Generally, people who are happy to email. It's not much of a substantial identification, but yeah. Tony said, I hear that there were some superheroes filing fantasy books. I heard that too, Tony. Haribo says, hanging out my Jack Russell Terrier brother and trying to Harvard reference my report on 19th century social change. That is better. Get Harvarding. Why did you choose a Harvard reference in opposed to other references? Gary says, I'm working on my tank if you'd like to see it. Of course we would, Gary. Let's have Tony in first. Gary, I'll send you a link also. Do we need passwords? I don't think we do today. Let me know if you need a password, Tony, and we'll figure it out. Kent, love the singing. I do a lot of singing. I don't know if you watch my Warhammer videos, but I do try and do a song for every author. My latest author interview was with the amazing Dan Abnett. It's one of my favorite interviews ever. We speak a little bit about Pariah and a lot about No No Fear. And I think because I met him in real life, it's just, yeah, we had a really good laugh. I'm so excited for you all to see this video. But Dan Abnett is the one who inspired my favorite Space Marine song that I wrote with the help of Louis Humanoid, who provides the music. And it goes, Space Marines, are they good or bad? It's hard to tell. Will we ever find out? Um, there you go. Uh, Neil says, Fighting Fantasy 18 was called Appointment with FEAR and is a superhero themed game book. Exciting. So Tony Holton has entered the waiting room. Let's get him in. And Tony's going to show us some elves. Some elves, Mr. Holton, elves. Yeah, we are always happy to have elves in the chat, and then we've got Dom to kick them out if required. If you'd like to show off some painting or come and say hello, please do drop me an email. I think you have to tell me if it's not, but I think the email address is in the description below this video. And of course, we all want to see Gary's tank because it's massive. Tony, I can see you looking a vision in red.
Ah, there we go. Yes,
Tony in
that's. I
red.
thought.
It's chatting with
I
me.
thought in honour.
Tony, I'm being
I
silent because I think we've got a bit of a
thought
delay.
in honour of second
Oh, this isn't
security
working.
guard. I would wear my. Have we happened there?
You're very, very in and out, Tony.
Yeah, I seem to be. I seem to be losing a bit of network signal.
Well, should we have a go and see what happens?
All right. Are we working?
I can hear you, Clem Fandango.
You can hear me. Can you see me?
I can see you. Show us your logo on your t-shirt again.
Hang on. Oh,
What does it say? This is my. We're going sideways.
are we
This
okay?
this is my. We can't see the bottom. What does it tell us what it says? I don't know if Tony can hear us now. Tony, if you hear me, I'm using my psyker strength. Tony, if you hear me, tell us
I
what the
can
logo
hear
on your shirt
you.
says.
Uh, it says, "This is my lucky red shirt."
Very good. I'm completely in agreement. Very happy for you to be wearing our Star Trek security officer shirt, as you all know.
That's it.
We always, that's our
Good old,
favorite character.
good old second security. For some reason, I'm not seeing you. I'm seeing you on the camera, but not seeing myself. So I cannot see if you can see.
Well, I can see you in the Zoom, and people in the chat are saying it's a good red shirt. So I
Ah,
think you must be popping up.
oh, well, that's
Uh,
okay.
shall we take a chance and you can show us your elves?
Yeah, yeah. Some old 90s elves. Tell me if you can see one. Oh,
The camera's doing a wobble as we wait with bated breath for Tony's
yeah.
elf.
We seem to be having technical problems.
I'll tell you what, Tony, why don't you stick around and see if your signal improves? And we'll try again in 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep, that might be an idea. That
All
might be
right.
an idea.
All right. Well, I'll say goodbye to you. And as I usher out one of my favorites, we're going to usher in lovely Gary. Oh, I think Tony, if you hang up, that's for the best. As
Yeah,
if I kick you out, you can't get back in. So if you just click end, I'm going to admit the lovely who's logging in now. This must be very strange for people who've never discovered my channel. Gary looking resplendent in a beautiful
Hang on.
t-shirt. Another Grateful Dead. Oh, Gary is a dead. So can you see me, Gary?
Wait a minute.
Oh my God, your
Can't,
tank! Look at the size of it, Gary! Jesus Christ!
but I can't, wait a minute. There we go. Couldn't see you for a second there. Yeah, let me, just to give you a better idea. That's about 12
That
pounds,
is
I guess, 10 pounds worth of vehicle, something like that.
that's beautiful. Do you have any of the you were showing us the minis that go with it? Do you have any
Oh,
of
they're upstairs. They're still upstairs.
that?
I primed them, but I haven't painted them yet. I got
So
fixated on
tell
this.
us,
Go
and
ahead.
I love your hyperfixation, Gary. It does us no end of good and interesting events. Can you tell us a little bit about the type of tank and
Yeah,
your philosophy around the painting
it's
of it?
a, it's a, German, um, Leopard 2 A6, which is not the most recent version. The most recent version is an A7, but I won't get into that. Um, I've got some camouflage netting on the barrel. I've got more coming for the top and for the front part of the hull, so it'll have that. It'll be it'll be marked up with the Balkenkreuz on each side. There's like unit markings for the front and the back. I'm considering replacing the antennas are kind of Mickey Mouse that they give you. I'm considering replacing those with the larger whip style antennas. But it is a crap load of detail. I mean, just
Wow.
unbelievable amounts of sprues. Some of the stuff I don't really have to paint, others I'm going to have to detail. And like the road wheels, for example, they're going to get browned and mudded up, and you're going to get mud along the side guards and all that sort of thing. Um, I'm probably going to
Wow.
roll up some other details for it as well. They put all kinds of junk in these uh, bins that are on the back of the turret. So
Lovely. Well, I am just really excited to see this project develop because now we can see the tank that goes with the primed models. So next Sunday, will those primed models
yeah,
be painted, or
this
do
will
you have a busy?
probably this will probably drive me mad between now and next Sunday, and I'll push it aside and pull them out to work on them. So that's kind of how I work. I hate to say it, but I reach a point where um, I get frustrated, and rather than be frustrated, put it aside for a bit, do something else, come back.
Yeah, that sounds very sensible. Well, thank you so much for bringing us on this journey. I'm excited to see the additional mud and the camo net go on. And
Also, if you look back over here, that
uh
black and white thing you see in the box there,
sure.
that's Percy. He's sound asleep.
Oh, hey, Percy. We haven't
He's
had
sound
Percy on.
he's sound asleep. He's was up all night, I think, so he's been sleeping all day.
That's his job as a cat. He has to be up and awake all night. Well, thank you so much, Gary. I
You're
will
welcome.
say goodbye to you, Percy, and we'll see if we can get Tony and his elves. Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Thank you. Okay, so Tony, if you'd like to unmute, you can see if you can show us your space
there we
elf,
go.
or is it just? Oh,
Can you see me now? I can see you now. It's working.
yes, but I think you still have a little delay. But if you hold up your elf, that's what I really want to see. Oh, I love that cyan color. It's like a
One,
more yellow. more yellow blue than the ultramarine blue.
That's it. Yep, one Avenger. And these 1997, I think these are from. And then there's one Fire
Wow,
Dragon Exarch, which is quite a
gorgeous.
nice red.
I wish I could see more detail. It's so upsetting, but the colors are
Mhm.
gorgeous. They got vermilion, orange going on there, offset by the gold or greeny gold of that weapon. What weapon is that, Tony?
It's a plasma lance type thing. I'm not sure if they still have them. This is from
Yes, plasma lance.
yes, plasma lance. Yep, I think they still have them. And
So,
my favourites are the striking scorpions.
oh, lovely greens. So this is
Lovely, lovely
90s
green.
Warhammer. So which codex would this have been? Can you kind of put me in what kind of game it would have been used, these
It
space elves
would
would have.
be 40K. I can't remember which edition. I think it's the one where you were doing the reading of the basic rules from.
Oh, the second edition
The
codex.
second edition. It's probably second edition.
Somebody said in the chat it's called a fire pike, that
Fire Pike.
weapon.
Ah, right.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic, isn't it?
been so long, and that's the basic trooper for that unit, not the Exarch. Let's try and
Love
get it
that.
in focus.
So
That's
have you,
the Fire Dragon.
I like that. I really think I'm going to get into Eldar when, if and when we finish the heresy. Also, we are looking at some elf books to read. Um, yeah, I think Arbiter Ian's Ian and I have a spreadsheet and he's chucked so many titles in there. I'm going to read them out in a little bit and you can all let me know what you think of the books that are coming up. But Tony,
Well,
did you paint those this week?
no, these were painted in the 90s. These were painted
Wow.
when they're out. I looked at an old catalogue, and the 97 catalogue had these figures in it. So that'd be roughly
Wow.
about the time.
I wonder that would have been after they stopped doing, because when I started, I first went into a games workshop in 1988 or 89, I think. And it was at that time Citadel colours. And it was like Chaos Black and Bilious Green. But in 97, I think they'd got rid of all those new ones in. So who's this fella?
Well, this is a Farseer, I believe, one of their sidekicks.
Ah, yes. Gorgeous.
It's
And
quite good if you do elves or Eldar, you can go a bit wild with the colours.
yes, absolutely. Well, I'm very pleased to, because didn't really know a lot about painting, but when Louise started doing all her colourful rainbow marines and everything, and her paint palettes are so bright and colourful, it has made me think a little bit more excitedly about painting. Although, Tony, you know I want my first project to be a one of those, we have to wait a little bit for that. Well, thank you so much, dear Tony, for coming back on
Oh,
again.
I've got a friend that wants to say hi. I
Oh
think he's a
my
cousin of
God!
Mr. Pugh.
Your little grin. I wondered what you were reaching for. So, have you named your fire extinguisher, Tony?
Well, he can be another Pugh because it's Pugh, Barney
You,
McGrew,
Barney
Cuthbert
McGrew.
Dibble. Yeah. So
I
there's
am so
room for another
delighted.
Pugh.
Pew pew. So, buys one next one. Probably have to name it McGrew. So that's fabulous. Well, Tony, thank you so much for popping on the chat. It's been absolutely lovely. I'm glad we persisted because your certainly seems a bit better now.
Yes,
So
yeah. I've
what are
got a
your
bit more
hobby or
signal now.
yeah, what are your hobby or painting plans for next week? Have you got anything coming up?
Well, those actually need, because back in the 90s, I didn't sort of do washes or anything on them. So I'm going to touch them up a bit with a bit of wash to make the recesses darker because they're
Yeah,
quite flat at the moment.
that's quite interesting. I mean, I, as someone who doesn't know a lot about painting, I remember when washes came in. I feel like washes were a new thing. I remember going in after a long time and seeing these washes, and there's all different kinds of like painting trends and styles that seem to pop out. And then, either Games Workshop is leading it with a new product, or it becomes fashionable in the game, and then they quickly create product. So I wonder if there's any videos on those trends in painting. I should probably ask my friends at 28 Mag about that.
Yeah, quite a lot changed, as I say, even from 1997. Highlighting,
Mm.
you did a bit off. There wasn't much of washes around. They've become sort of more prevalent now. And then, of course, you've got
Mm.
the quick paints now, which has sort of got its own washing. So the darker
Oh,
pigment goes into the recesses and stays lighter on the outside.
isn't
I'll
it
quickly show you
amazing?
one of my other projects. That's John Pertwee as the
Is that
Doctor.
Doctor Who? It's John
Yeah,
Hurt. Will you do that thing where you put your hand behind it, Tony? Because
yeah.
he's not in
See if it
focus at all.
is he getting
That's a
more.
bit better. But
He's
do you
still
remember
trying to
that
focus.
that 6 foot that 6'4" Doctor Who cosplayer who came to see us at the Games Expo stand,
Yes, I
Tony?
saw him wandering around. Yeah,
Oh, crikey. He terrified me. He was a great cosplayer, but very terrifying. Well, thanks for showing me your
there we go.
minis, Tony.
Good old Mr. Sergeant Benton.
Gosh, I'm going to stop you now because
Yes,
otherwise you're
yeah,
just going to
yeah.
keep pulling these individual minis out. But thank you for the little bit of chat and showing us your minis. I'll have to have a look into those painting trends. I'll see if Ian will do a chat with me about that. But thank you so much,
That's
Tony.
okay.
Lovely to catch up
At
with you.
least we got it working in the
We'll
end. At
speak
least we
soon,
got
yeah?
it working.
We did. Everybody who sticks on this channel has to put up with a lot because they get quality, lovely humans such as Gary and yourself. So thank you so much, Tony. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Right. I'll just check and see if anyone else has emailed. Nope. That's quite all right. We don't want anyone to feel forced into a chat. That would be awful, wouldn't it? Holding people hostage online in my Zoom room. And you will talk. So let's see what the chat's been saying. I'm a bit nervous. I don't have that many moderators in the chat this evening. And signal's lagging. I don't really think it's a rebootable situation. I think my situation is I'm in Dorset and my internet connection is not great. Alex has just shouted in capitals, tank. Triple Merit is claiming the tank's a Challenger too. Alex says that tank is half the size of you, Gary. I love miniatures to I love miniatures 28s, especially if they're Titans or tanks. Haribo says Ringo the Jack Russell brother is letting me know he's all alone. Oh, that's sad, isn't it? Um, Loving Tank, Leopard 2. It looks the right scale for G.I. Joe figures. If you were here last week, Haribo, the lovely Gary showed us his minis will look absolutely epic. They look great. So we'll look forward to further installments. Dom said, this has inspired me. I'm going to build a cardboard tank to put my cat in. Ghost Bees says, sup gang. Hey Ghost Bees, welcome to the chat. It's been a long time. We're lovely to see you. Aztec says, thanks for the update on the tank project. Looking very impressive. Neil is filling us in on the fire pike. Hello, Ian Gear. Here's live long and prosper for you. You can see pics of those models in your 1990s Eldar Codex. Jim, I hope I still have. Ian and Mira contrast greatly on the Eldar question. Watch out, says Ghost Bees. It's got a blast template. No idea what that means. Oh, I should lower my hand. I've raised my own hand in my Zoom meeting. I don't know if you can see that. Mm-mm-mm. Haribo says, I'm probably the only human on earth that is desperate for Eldar with Cornish accents. And Gary says, prior to Games Workshop doing washes, we had to mix our own with medium. Those washes were a time saver. Just a note to Triple Merit, this is a PG-13 channel and we play nice with each other. So please be aware for that. Thank you so much. Please be respectful in the chat and don't use words of that nature. Neil, I think Games Workshop sells more bottles of Nuln oil than any other product. What is Nuln oil? Is this like sky hooks or yeah? Gary says contrast paints are a godsend. Uh, Gary says, Tony, you're a legend. Tony is a legend. Tony's one of the nicest guys in gaming, in my experience. Um, mm, mm, mm. There's a tank battle going on, which I am willing to take no part of. Merry Christmas to you. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Hello, Jim. Do you fancy coming in the chat and talking to me about this bloody Primarchs book? Because I'm feeling all kinds of ways about things. I'm just checking my Grimdark Buddies email again. Have I put the email address in the chat? Maybe not. Nuln oil is your go-to for dirtying up. Okay, get it. Yeah, so that kind of battle-torn kind of vibe. I see, I understand. Let me look at my content and check I've correctly labeled my videos. It could just be people don't want to chat, and that's also fine. Okay. Painting up my army more recently as a distraction to a family bereavement. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's very therapeutic and feels more productive than dwelling. Painting, I think, is good for the soul. Jim is doing a child bedtime right now. Both very good for the soul. Definitely. What are you painting, Raging? I mean, I wonder how many people here in the chat have actually read the Primarchs. I think this is book 20 in the saga. And it's my first experience of reading Nick Kime. And maybe my first experience of reading Rob Sanders. So I've just started Feet of Iron by Nick Kime. Haribo, you are. If you can see the email address in the link description below, I can send you a link so you can join. And it'd be lovely to see what you look like in real life, Haribo, because you've been a YouTube buddy for many, well, maybe a year or two, a long time. The Death Watch tanks and infantry, basically Space Marines, says. And Gary and Tony agree. Tony says painting is good for distracting the mind and soul. Gary says agreed soul food. Whoever is hammering the emojis, please also hammer our, if you would like to hammer a super thanks. Also, I can see, thank you so much, Raging, for sending me 5 squids. Thank you. Love chatting with Dan last weekend, and I need to start reading his books, especially his standalone one. You absolutely do. Dan is a fantastic author. Pretty much everything you pick up by Dan is going to be brilliant. Yes, biased. Dan has opened my mind. I think reading Dan's books has made me a better writer. So, yeah, that doesn't say much actually. I could have been a terrible writer. So, I'm just checking my Grimdark Buddies email, Haribo, and I don't see anything from you. But if you'd like to join the chat, definitely send me your email me and I will send you back the Zoom link. So it would be lovely if anybody else has read the Primarchs because yeah, bit of a bit of a crazy one. Tony says Mr. Pugh too has been returned to his duty station. That's good. Tony, did you have Pugh prior to our streams, or have you bought Pugh as a result of the streams? I think that's an interesting question. Eisenhorn, Ravenel, all awesome, and Gaunt's Ghost. Yes. Do you know what? I really want to go back and reread Eisenhorn and Ravenel because I think I'd pick up so much more stuff now. Jim, I haven't finished the whole book. I've just started the Nick Kime story. Gary says Titanicus is my favorite. Love that book. That is a great book. We had a great chat about that as well. The Serpent Beneath. Is Titanicus a Dan book? Yeah. Gosh, my brain's going, yes. Heresy series is intimidating. Tell me about it. I don't know how we got into this. How did we get into this? What made me read Horus Rising? Because I think I'd love to look back through those videos and see where that came from. Interesting. Okay. So Peter Smith is happy to chat about his back garden gaming cabin. Yes, please, Peter. Pigeon. I've sent Pigeon the link. Let's have a look at his back. Wowie zowie. I'm excited for this. Come and join in, PigeonSmythe. Be happy to see you. This is exciting. It's also really exciting to see the people that we've spoken to so often. No worries. Thank you so much for the apology on swearing, Triple. But I do have little nieces and I have little godsons who sometimes watch the stream. So we try and keep it very PG-13 and include unicorns where we can sometimes. Didn't Dan tell you to read Horus Rising? Maybe he did. Maybe he did. So Peter Smith has entered the waiting room. I'm just waiting for him to engage his video and unmute, and we will see his a human who has created the life where he may have a gaming cabin and perhaps tell us how we could all achieve this aim, because what a life goal. Come on.
So I'm just trying
There's
to
a little bit.
start my video. Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. This is so lovely of you. Show us around your cabin, please.
Yep, I'd love to. I'm assuming it'll let me turn my camera around so you don't have to look at my face. So did that work? No. Does anyone know how to invert the camera? If not, I'll just do it like this.
Wow.
I'll
Wowie
start off
zowie.
outside so you can actually see it. So I built this actually as my COVID project because I was quite bored. So it's
Wow.
5.5 meters by 3.5 meters.
Yep.
And I just finished a gaming session this afternoon, playing board games with some of my friends that I failed to play games with at UK Games Expo because they were too busy playing
Wow.
tournaments. So yeah, so this is it. So I've got my
Thing
terrain
of
collection.
beauty. I can see all your terrain. Can you take us in for a little bit of a closer look at some of that?
Yeah, this is my Ewok village, which unfortunately expanded in the heat this weekend and then snapped for Star Wars Shatterpoint. But I've got
Oh my
Africa
God,
terrain.
no.
I've got hills and trees for lots of different sizes. I've got this is for the Chicago Way, which is kind of a gangster game set in the Prohibition era. And I've got tons of like hex terrain for different sizes. So this is like the kind of thing I play Epic on. So I put my Titans running around that.
Wow.
I've got lots of different terrain for Infinity. These are the huts for my Ewok village.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous you have an Ewok village.
I've got a random little train that I use for Malifaux terrain because like, railways and steam is kind of a big part of the Malifaux game aesthetic.
Wow.
And yeah, that's this is largely it. Obviously, I've got space for two 6x4s, which is quite good. I've got one. I've like a group of my mates around who play multiple games on at the same time, or more traditional board games. We tend to play this table instead. But yeah, and I've got these.
Wow. What games did you play today?
Today I played Pandemic of the Ring. It's really known called Fate of the Fellowship, which is kind of a
Wow.
pandemic game reskinned to be based on Lord of the Rings. It's very good, actually. It's much harder than normal Pandemic. And we played a game called Aberration that my friend Mark brought with him. But yeah, I've got these. I've got a tray, like a dining room McDonald's kind of style tray thing. So if people come round and they want to take their armies out, they can stick them on a tray to
Wow.
leave temporarily while they go off. Or sometimes, I've got enough tables that I can do 4 6x4s at once. So we put these tables out in the
That looks
garden
incredible.
as well. So it's quite a fun little gaming setup. And then there's chill space to hang around outside
Fantastic.
in the hammock, etc. If people need a breather.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it.
PigeonSmythe, thank you so much. Could you
Yeah.
turn the camera back on you for a little bit and just tell us, um, do you live with someone and they've been absolutely fine with you putting this cabin out?
Oh no, this is just me. I live with 2 cats, including this one, but they're fine with me putting the camp.
Oh, hello. What's the cat's name?
This one's Ripley, and the other one's called Hudson.
Oh, well, we have got a comment. We've got some nice comments in the chat. Strip lighting looks cool. Gary says, now that's a game room. Mooch says, that's bigger than my house. Raging has written once, exclamation mark, 3 exclamation marks, heart eyes. Tony said, so jealous. Raging says, if he has Space Hulk, I'll cry.
Oh yeah.
Neil says, so you do.
So, don't cry though, but yes, I
Neil,
do have Space Hulk. Yeah.
Neil says, so gaming event at your house when? Tony says, Fate of the Fellowship is cracking. One of the games I introduced to friends this weekend. And Gary O'Neill says, what a hobby space. Love it, Peter. Tony says, hello, Ripley. And Aztec says, awesome cat name.
I'm sure she
So,
says hello
Peter,
back.
thank you so much for jumping on the chat.
Yeah, I had
Aw.
one question I failed to
Well,
answer from
I
earlier. Oh,
hope
sorry,
you
Maria.
get your ebook.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, it's all good. It's Zoom. It's what
Yeah.
happens. I hope your Ewok village can get fixed because I bet that looks beautiful and I'd love to see it.
No, thanks. Yeah, I was just going to say, because you asked me how I actually went around building it, it was a kit. So I found a company that sold them. And then it was self-assembly. So I had to level the ground, etc., all by myself. And then, because my garden's actually on quite a slope, so obviously I had to make a flat surface. And then it was a kit. It took me and my dad about 5 days to do it. I did most of it, but I got a nice stop motion video of it as well. Don't worry, I'm not going to share that now. But yeah, it was quite a satisfying project to do. I'd heartily recommend it to anyone who's got the space. It's really nice to have. Days like today were great. Day like yesterday, it probably would have still been too hot despite it being insulated. But because I've got insulation on the ceiling, I don't know if you can see that there. But
Yes.
it's fine in the winter with like an oil heater, etc. It can be warm enough to play in as well. So it's great. Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Peter. Do you have an app, or because is there anyone can follow you?
No, I'm not that interested in being followed.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. You've made a lot of people really happy, and I think we can safely say this is one of the best things to come out of COVID. So, thank you so much for sharing, and hopefully we'll see you again or chat on the channel again. Take care,
Yeah,
Peter.
thanks. Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Don't we have the best people on this chat? Wowie zowie. Poor Haribo said, Haribo says, I can't seem to find the email. I may be being thick. Can anybody help Haribo? I think all you need to do is look under the video. So if you open the YouTube video, there's normally a description, and in the description it's written, the email address is written in there. Otherwise, I don't really want to say it, just because, yeah. But if anyone can help Happy Haribo how to figure that out, I don't know. It's a gmail.res. I really don't know how to describe how you look under the video description on YouTube, because for me, when I open YouTube, maybe you're using a mobile, maybe that's why. But hopefully you'll figure it out in time for next week, if not this week. I think there's been some silliness going on in the chat. See, this is the terrifying thing. When you're an anxious person as you all know, I suffer from uh, anxiety quite a lot. And part of my getting over anxiety is streaming here, but part of my fear is nasty people coming here. Um, so yeah, interesting. I think if that person comes back again, I might hide them on the channel forever, indefinitely, because using the C word in a chat, absolutely insane, nastiness. Maybe that's what some more right-wing Warhammer channels are like. I don't know. Maybe I am just an idiot unicorn on the internet, expecting everyone to be Teletubbies. Life ain't all Teletubbies and unicorns. So thank you very much to my mods. Um, Dan may have told me to read Horus Rising. We'll have to look back at that, won't I? Where did that come from? Aztec said, I read the Primarchs when it was first published paperback. I did not enjoy the Fulgrim short story either. Tony said, I had Mr. Pugh prior to seeing the original Pugh. This is probably number 4 as they do have a pressure shelf life. So, Tony, I noticed your Pugh is also a powder one, which is the messiest. So we might have to be careful about that. Jim said, imagine having such a complete lack of life, you decide to troll by spamming laugh emojis. I actually wasn't taking that as trolling, but I just because it's so tiny on my screen. But I was wondering if that was going to help with engagement, whether that would help with the algorithm. But I wonder if that was triple merit because now he's been timed out. It's not happening. Loads and loads of compliments in the chat for Pigeon's amazing gaming cabin. How nice of that was Pigeon to show us. That's so lovely. Yay. I have really lovely comments here. Uh, yay. Email is in the last community post and in the video description. So Haribo, fingers crossed. Let me check my email and see if Haribo's made a breakthrough. Let's reload the email. See what happens. No, no Haribo show. That's okay. Oh, another email from Gary, but in a different channel. All is well in the world. So let me. That's my fear, Haribo. I don't think that's my fear. You just don't know. And oh, my internet stable is, yeah, dodgy. Part of the pro can be a precursor. That can be a testing of boundaries ahead of really coming in with a massive boot. And as someone who's been bullied, I recognize that. So I'm a lot fearful of that. Oh my God, Peter, we did meet at Games Expo and you did have your sister there. Oh my gosh, yes. And you and your sister live in different towns, but you especially meet at Games Expo. I completely remember you now. Why didn't you say that in the first place? Fantastic. Oh my goodness. Yes. So Peter came to see me at Game Therapy UK stand. Hopefully, our amazing chair of Game Therapy UK is trying to get us booked at Dragon Meet so you can come and say hello. Peter, of course, I remember you now, out of context in that convention hall in your cabin. Very different, but so, so happy you came on the channel. So thank you so much for that. Thanks, mods, for keeping things chilled in the chat. Of course. And also, as a private person who doesn't really do following and stuff, very cool of you to share that with us. Tony says, I'll probably change to CO2 in my next update. Neil says, thank you to mods as well. Dom says, I but I worked 13 hours yesterday. Dom, sending you so much hydration and love. I hope you're okay. Go Grend. And right, we were going to talk about books that Arby and I are reading together. Where is my spreadsheet? I will share the books that Ian and I are reading very soon if I can find the file. Doesn't want to open. I've just had it open this afternoon. Mixing me up lately. Can you please fill in the spreadsheet? Where is it? He'll have sent a link to me on my WhatsApp. So oh, I'll tell you what's a bit sad. I sent Ian loads of pictures of me and this lovely chap that I was seeing. Well, I wasn't seeing. I had one date with. I was very hopeful about. So I'm scrolling up and seeing the pictures. Sadly, it didn't work out, but nothing ever does. No, kidding. Okay, where is this link? Come on, internet. You're embarrassing me in front of all the people. Here we go. Book club list. That's the one. Okay, coming up to read, we have Horus Heresy, The Primarchs, Outgunned by Denny Flowers, Interceptor City by Dan, Jane Czar, Storm of Silence by Gav Thorpe, Azure Men, Hand of Azurin by Gaz Thorpe, The Emperor's Gift by Aaron Dembski Bowden, Straight Silver by Dan Abnett, Elemental Council by Noah Van Neugen, Hell's Reach by Aaron Dembski Bowden. And there's another one that's not on the list, which I'm going to put on the list. Lords of the Lance by Graham McNeil, which I need to buy actually, because I haven't got that yet and I need to read it. I haven't got loads of these books yet. I'm just filling in the spreadsheet while we're on the chat. By Graham McNeil. So anyone read or reading any of those? Any top tips? Which ones are going to amaze me? Which ones are going to disgust me? What do we got? Uh, uh, uh. Happy Haribo still feeling. We'll figure it out next week, if nothing else. PigeonSmythe, you'll have Night Lords on the list soon. I don't know. My live yesterday lost me one subscriber. Raging, there's a cool fan animation of Hell's Reach using the original narrator, which we actually watched on this channel. I think if there's a Let's React video that we all watched together, and that was quite cool. Yeah, I think it starts out, it's quite animated, and then as it goes on, the animation gets better. I think I need to read the book first. That's what I'm going to try and do. Read the book first and then come back to it. So I don't know. To me, that sounds like not many people are reading. I think I'm now quite used to reading books that so many people have read, but maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best if we're reading books that are a bit less known. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be a bit of an experiment. So let's see how many people are still in the chat with us. Gary O'Neill, Elemental Council is great. You'll love Kay's character development. I hope her suit comes to the tabletop one day. Interesting. How the hell did this address? That's a hell of a worry. Is there somebody in the chat called Paul? Would you make yourself known in the chat if that is you, Haribo? There we go. He's found us. So let's get Paul a little invite. Where is the invite? Here we go. Find the link. Participants. My brain is slowing down now. Here we go. Make that a link. This is very exciting. We're going to get to see another human. I've sent you an email, Haribo. I believe Haribo is Paul. but we're going to get to see another human that we played Fighting Fantasy with. That's exciting. Losing Limo. I've been making my own Warhammer content on my other channel on the Horus Heresy. I'm reading it for the first time, but attempting a chronological order. How is that different to how I'm reading it? Do you mean chronological order in the Warhammer universe? Let us know. Oh God. Haribo's named themselves Haribo, Doglord, Waterlooville. So I think we all know what to expect here. But let's get him in the room. Let's meet our friend Happy Haribo, who we've had many happy adventures with. Please, Lord, please, Lord, be safe. This is the moment of suspense. Hello.
Hey,
Hi, Paul. How are you?
hi.
Well, welcome to the Mirror Manga Grimdark Buddy YouTube channel. What would you like to show us this evening?
Can you hear
You've
me?
mentioned we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, alive. Doing coursework and being bothered by a dog.
Oh, what kind of dog?
Oh, my fancy new digital microphone.
Very nice. So, did you want to show us some minis, Haribo, or did you just want to say hello?
Jack Russell.
Okay, we've got a massive long delay. I think I'm
Uh,
streaming with an incredible
that's his.
delay.
This is the mini version.
Oh, very cute. A little bit like Snoopy.
Uh, just a quick hello, really. None of my minis are to hand, unfortunately.
Oh, well, Haribo, it's lovely to put a face to the name. What's your favorite thing about when we play fighting fantasy adventures together? It's all going a bit Eurovision, isn't it? I think we're having massively long gaps.
Um, yeah, the sheer unpredictability of it, and yeah, I'm probably part of the second security guard fan club, definitely. And but yeah, it's a yeah.
Oh, well, Paul, I'm so glad you popped on to say hello. What a lovely smile you've got. And it's great to have all your input when are adventuring together. So please give your doggy a big cuddle from us. And hopefully, when I'm back in London and my signal's a bit better, we can have a
Wow.
little bit a better chat in the same time zone at least. Thank you so much, lovely. Oh, take care, Haribo. How nice is that? It's so nice to see what people look like and meet friends in real life. Mm, 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 mm. Pigeon says, I read Straight Silver a while back, but keep on revisiting the next arc for more. The Lost Cycle is amazing. I think I'm still in the Sabbath Saint cycle. Tony says we need a well-inspected tech priest. We do indeed. Neil, thank you so much for being here and always supporting. Always so great to see you. Tony says, hi, Haribo. Losing Limo says, starting at Valdor. Ooh, Chris Wright, what a book. So it was an attempt at an in-universe timeline, but going in blind. Bit of an experiment to see what the experience is like. So Losing Limo is trying to read the Horus Heresy chronologically according to the universe's timeline. Only on the third story, already hit some bumps. Know how that feels. Keep going, Losing Limo. It's well worth it. What a great project. Aztec says, bye, Neil. Stay well. Very good, Aztec. Stephen, hi Mira, big fan of the book reviews. I just got done watching your Valdor one and saw you were live, so wanted to pop in and pay my respects. Much love from the US. Stephen, if you like the book reviews, you will love the interviews I do with the authors. Please check out my channel and do a like and subscribe. Um, I hope you enjoy the author interviews. Tony, the votes from Grand Britannia are yeah, it's very Eurovision. The next time I come to Dorset, I'm going to bring like an 18-meter internet cable so I can plug in straight to the hub. I think my godson gave us that plan. Haribo says, thank you, Paul. And Raging says, braver than me going on the internet. Well, it's only us. It's a little amount of people that are generally very kind and lovely humans, so it shouldn't be too scary. But what a lovely bunch we've seen tonight. So Tony showed us his own for Pugh, as well as his Eldar. Gary showed us his tank, which everyone is completely obsessed with. Pigeon, aka Peter, who I now totally remember meeting, showed us the best gaming cabin ever, the best thing to come out of COVID, one of the better things to come out of COVID. And we got to see Haribo's face, and we've had a bloody good evening. And thank you so much again to my amazing moderator, Historitus Jamal, rating, and yeah, putting his kids to bed. So thank you so much, Jim, for doing that. Limo is doing a second video in the series now. It should be out on Friday. A story you've read, I believe. Maybe I'll jump on next week and have a brief natter. Maybe that could work, losing. Gary says it's always fun on this channel, but it was really nice to see everyone. So nice to see everybody. I think I should go and say goodnight now so I can say goodnight to my godsons. But thank you all. I have had a horrendous, horrible week full of anxiety. So thank you all for being here. I simply don't deserve such lovely YouTube buddies. But have the best evening. Take good care of yourselves and everybody else around you, and make sure you give yourself one treat this week. Be that extra duvet time, or watching a guilty pleasure, or buying yourself a nice treat, or just going out and standing in the sun. Everyone look after yourselves. Lovely to see you, David. We're on our way out, but please feel free to rewatch. It's been a lovely evening. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, and have a lovely evening and have a great week. I'll see you all soon.